Hi folks, welcome to another Boats and Bits. In this episode I'm going to cover a very exciting new purchase I have, Onwa KP27A Chartplotter with built-in AIS transponder. Bought this for a couple of reasons. One, I've been doing some work with N2K, NEMA 2K, and I don't have no way of testing it other than the sort of wee test bench, so I'm kind of making one of these devices here, which allows me to communicate with the bus, but I need some way to test it. So kind of got this here for that, but I also fancied a Chartplotter with a built-in transponder, so an AIS transponder built into this here, as you can see. And the back's pretty standard. Got your power and it's got data, so it's got your standard NEMA 183, standard VHF antenna. So if you're going to put this in, you'll need some sort of adapter, one of the ones that will automatically cut off if somebody's transmitting or something like that there on the VHF, or a separate antenna completely to your sort of on-boat antenna. GPS, just a wee GPS antenna, and then the NEMA 2K port there. So what else could come in the box? Well, get the usual, get the wee case, instructions, and a load of wires. So GPS puck, so we just connect that on. That's the power, so I'm going to wire this up now in a minute just to show it. Comes with this K-chart, so you can kind of see the Microsoft SD, so I'm going to have a look at that, what's that like, and stick up a wee thing here shortly, just to show what the maps are like. Probably get a Navionics one at some stage, but we'll give a quick go and see how this works. Scissor. Oh, and then there's the wee trundle mount, or whatever you call it, so if you wanted to mount it somewhere like that there rather than through a port. It does come with this wee cover for basically if you have it cut through your bulkhead, you can use that. And it's got a couple of things here, templates and whatnot for cutting those out. So yeah, what I'll do now is get it up and wired on the test bench, and let's have a look at it there. So we're down in the workbench, so I've it wired in, very simple, just into a wee 12 volt adapter I have, so positive to positive. As you can see, just plugs into that data connection. Those other wires are for NEMA 183, but for now I am just going to use the power. It does come with the GPS puck, which is here, so seems to be magnetic, seems to be sticking to that there. So we'll hook that in. I don't have any other NEMA 2K stuff wired in yet, but that'll come at a later date for the other naughty control stuff I'm working on. Okay, so it comes up and it basically tells you the different types of marks. So when I said Navionics, and K-chart, it also accepts Cmap. Now, I don't know much about the K-chart, but I suspect it's some Chinese thing, so I must check now to see what the crack is here. So I'll hit OK. Okay, so running into some difficulties with the maps. I've took the SD card out and put it into my computer, and it seems to only have European C, which is only a subset. So what I'm doing now is downloading from the website. So I'll stick a link down below. There's basically a K-charts 2, whatever it is, which seems to be the one that covers Europe maps on there. So I'm going to download those, copy them onto the SD card that came with it, and see how we get on. So back shortly. Oh, this is a website for downloading the K-charts. I looked at it again, the UK one is on there. So on the SD card, it came with EUC, which seems to be the UK and Ireland, which should be the one I'm after. So what I'll do is, I've got all the ones copying up now. Maybe I need to restart with it on, but we'll give it another go and see how we get on. Okay. So this is the K-chart website. It's a bit of a Wix. Apparently K-charts are owned by the crowd, or made by the crowd that does, so you can kind of see you get 3 SD card version, but it just covers Australia. So what we'll do is the version 2 SD card version, which covers then Europe here. So there's different ones. So if I look in closely, EUC, which I think was on it, is actually Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, Wales, Ireland, and all the rest. So these are all the different European ones. You can also get all the ones for all over the world. So if you aren't in the Europe, It looks to cover pretty extensive. So what I'm going to do now is copy the ones for Europe. So if them copy it onto the SD card that came with it, the SD card was like 8 gigs. There's a ton of space free, so I don't know why I just didn't bother putting them all on there. But anyways, we digress. I shall go and stick it on and see if it works. So after a bit of a confusing first night where I couldn't get the maps to work, I finally figured it out. What it comes default is Africa. So that's obviously no good to me. So that's why I was seeing nothing and going around in circles basically. The other problem I had was I was getting the UK and the SD card. The thing is you have to actually switch it in the settings to the SD card. What I found was that there is actually the UK, was it the KChart3, and you're able to download that and flash that to there. So if you take a look, that's the what do you call it, just off the Isle of Man, and you can kind of see all the Chartplottery stuff there. So that seems to work a lot better. It means you also can then use the K charts for internal and then use Navionics for the external. So the benefit of that is obviously you can chip and choose and check between, because some may be better in areas. One thing I noticed, the K chart doesn't do internal water, internal waterways like lakes and stuff like that there. So Loch Ness, one I would sail on, isn't on here, but it is in Navionics, I'm hoping. So I'll use Navionics for that there. Plan is though the boat will be going out in the sea, so this will be useful. I'll just do a quick run through all the different options. So obviously that's the chart plotter. If I hit menu once, it kind of gives you the plotter menu, and you can go down, there's different options there. It's basically just the maps and how in drawings and what charts. Now I would have thought the chart selection, internal and external, would have been there. It isn't. You need to click again, which is AIS, and then click again, which gives you this main menu. There's a setup, if I get to the right place, and then over here is map source. So that there is where the map source is. You can change other things like temperature units and things like that there. You can turn certain things off, like the wind screen and AIS screen. Sonar screen is not available, but yeah, and you can do name and displays and stuff like that there. You can change your MMSI, so that's for your AIS, so you can put in your own MMSI details there, which I'll have to do. So there's arrays basically just for endpoints, stuff like that. There's alarm, so you can set different alarms for anchor. So there's an anchor alarm, which is useful. AIS alarms and stuff like that there. So you can basically say if a boat's coming near you to warn. You can edit waypoints and draw marks and stuff like that there. And then you can save data to your SD card and record it back. I have no SD card in. So that's that. So if we hit menu again, it goes back. If we go to mode, this is all the different modes. So we've got plotter, which is obviously your chart plotter. Compass just gives you sort of your compass. Wind gives you kind of like a wind display. Navigation just gives you some GPS coordinates. Satellites just gives you satellite information. Highway shows you how far off course you're going. AIS then obviously just gives you like the radar. So if we go to there, show that. Yeah, so that kind of just gives you your radar, shows you the boats in the general area. So if we exit back out again, the fish stuff doesn't avail because this particular model doesn't have it. Now you can get another one that doesn't have the AIS but does have the fish finder, and you can use that all in one. For anybody that's interested in that. Again, this is the Onwa KP27A. A means for the AIS. You can get the cheaper one. So if you didn't want AIS, you can get just the KP27, which is exactly the same, just doesn't have the AIS. Personally, I wanted the transponder because this, obviously, if you connect it to an area, will actually transmit your position as well as receive others. So for me, it was definitely a benefit for the extra £100 rather than mucking about. So we go back to the main menu. If we go back to Chartplotter even, so we go mode. There we go. These two buttons then, you can do like a cursor position, so you can set that as a waypoint. So if you're going to move somewhere else using the wee arrows, you can then hit that and then do a go to. So that'll basically set your directions, so your boat will follow. X basically cancels out. That returns back home again, so this is where I am. And then if you zoom out, which is that one, so it makes you go smaller, further out, and that goes back in. And you can kind of see there where the map covers, because you can kind of see there the blue, where that mark is there. So that's where I have it covered at the minute. So that was the GBR, whatever it was, K-Chart 3. So we can zoom back in using this. We can move about a bit. Go to Belfast. So you can see there, Beaufort's Dyke and all the usual stuff you'll see in the North Channel. So there's a few other funky things. So you can hit that button and it'll take you straight to your MMSI information, so it'll show you all their boats about. If you go to FX, I think that the first one is actually ourselves, so I haven't changed it, so that must be the default. So we actually then go back again, so we hit this and there's all the different functions. So there's go to waypoint, go to cursor, go to route, go to track, drawn, so you can draw marks, lines, place names, stuff like that. So you can add on basically your own stuff to the charts. Tide tables, standard stuff, show you when the tide's coming in and out, based on your location. Search, so you can search for coordinates, place names, stuff like that there. So if you want to go somewhere, you can search for it. Calendar, just a calendar. Celestial, shows you the moon, where the sun and moon are. And for anybody that's interested in that type of thing. And distance, so then you can, so we hit X. So yeah, so that's it. And then just your power, so you can change the brightness down with this button, or just if you hold it off like this here, 1, 2, 3, and that'll go off. So yeah, that's the Onwa KP27. This one was $3.50, bought on AliExpress, came within a week. Showed earlier what all comes in the box, comes with the usual stuff. My plan is put it on a boat. Which one I don't know yet. It'll probably be on the Trapper 500. I probably don't want to start cutting holes. I might just use the wee mount and mount it inside on something like that there that can swing round. I'll show a video later once I have actually installed. What I'll do on it is, because the installation is so tricky, what I'll do is I'll do another video where I actually show how to set up the maps for the UK or anywhere else. You can download them for any region. For internal, because obviously it's a lot handier having them internal, then you can use your Navionics. What I'll also show is how you actually switch over to the external, so if you wanted to use maps in some other place. So I'll do another video of that there. I'll not bore you today with that. I have some other stuff I want to do, like get my wind. I've one of these wee boards here which I'm working on. If anybody's seen my other videos, you know I do a bit of software development, hardware, stuff like that there. I've actually another channel called Naughty Control. I'll stick a link down below, but it's got a load of these electronic projects. This is going to be basically a N2K, so NEMA 2K wireless, so you'll be able to remote control stuff like that. I'm also working on a sort of bigger one that will convert between NEMA 183, the old serial one, and NEMA 28K and CTalk and stuff like that there, kind of like a super box. So it does everything, and I'll have the remote control functionality and web functionality and Bluetooth and all the other fun stuff that I've been working on. But again, check out the Naughty Control stuff and you'll see all that. So yes, so this is just the Onwa KP27. Good bright screen. It's durable. Definitely seems really great value for money whenever you consider the price of some of the Raymarine stuff. It seems functional, it seems fast. Time will tell. I'll do a follow-up video once I get going with Navionics and things like that there. But yeah, my first reaction is definitely it was a good buy and I'm quite happy with it. So you'll probably see more of this here, and I'll certainly be doing a video on showing you how to set up the maps, because that took me an age last night getting working. Alright folks, well thanks for watching. If you have any questions or any comments, stick them down below. Otherwise I shall see you all again soon. Cheers, bye.